Yo, what's up guys? My name's Ollie.
My name's Tommy, and welcome back to Seeing More Films. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the new film Civil War, or Captain America Civil War, depending on what you want to call it.
Really excited for this. Really excited. What to say about this?
We luckily got to see the midnight screening at London's O2 the other day. Okay guys, so me and Ollie with Mark here for the Captain America Civil War screening. Let you know how it is. So that said, we're just going to jump straight into it, and before we do, Ollie, would you like to say a little bit about the comic?
Yes, I would actually, because Civil War is one of my favourite comic books. It's really iconic in the Marvel universe as it is. But to put quite a lot of grounding with superheroes, so a lot of them realise what's going on. And this film is very different from the comic book, very different. But as long as you don't look at it as like a Civil War, as long as you don't look at it as in they're trying to recreate the Civil War comic book on the screen, then I think you'll really enjoy it. I think we both did quite a lot.
We sort of scream like little girls.
Quite a lot. So in the comic book, there's a superhuman registration act, where the government's pushing forward that every superhero has to be registered with government to give up their secret identities and basically work for the government and be able to be responsible for them. In that you've got Iron Man's side and Mr. Fantastic, who isn't in the movie because they don't have the rights to him, and he's against Captain America's side as it is in the film as well. What's very different about it is the act itself, because in the movies everyone pretty much knows his secret identities already. They're not much of a secret anymore, and so that wouldn't be the issue. Whereas instead they got the Sokovia Accords, is it? Where they basically want the Avengers to work for the United Nations panel. Yeah. Which Captain America does not want to do. With
that, you see, it ends up being Team Iron Man versus Team Cap. So, Team Cap! It causes a war between them, which is very much reliant on when we see, I think it's Goliath kill? Yeah. So, if you haven't read the comic, big spoiler there.
Because Thor isn't in the comic book either. He's not in the film, he's not in the comic book. In the comic book he's actually died, hasn't he? He's died after Fear itself.
Yes, and the only version of Thor that appears in the comic book is Mecha Thor.
Yeah, or Ragnarok as it's sometimes.
Very true.
Because Iron Man and Hank Pym and Reed Richards made a clone of Thor, which went out of control pretty much and killed Goliath.
And then who is it that ripped Mecha Thor in half?
That was Hercules.
Yeah, there we go.
Picked up his false Mjolnir and smashed his head.
Yeah. So that said, it's very different from the comic book, but like Ollie said, unfortunately, Marvel didn't have the rights to some of the characters.
But I think they've done the best with what they have.
Definitely.
What they've made is a really, really good comic.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it would have been cool to see the few X-Men that are in there, Fantastic Four, things like that could have been fully tied in. But
then you'd have to have the development. You couldn't have had them introducing Spider-Man, and Black Panther, and everyone else at the same time.
But the character development we got was
on point. It was on point. Really good.
So that said, now that we spoke about the comic book, let's get straight into the review.
Oh, would you like it? Did you hate it?
What can I say about this film? Oh, it was near perfect. It might be the best superhero film ever.
It's up there. Definitely, in my opinion, the best MCU movie.
Yeah,
definitely.
Definitely the best MCU movie. Definitely better than any DC film.
Yeah.
So far.
You got Dark Knight there. You got Dark Knight.
Yeah, but
it's so different to that. It's so different.
See, when we first went in, we had very mixed opinions on what we thought was going to happen. We were hoping for very good things, but with a couple of
cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, with a couple of the mistakes that Marvel had made, you had to stay very closed off.
Very grounded.
Then, as the film started, Ollie felt the need to take a Snapchat.
Alright, okay.
Forgetting that his flash was on.
It was just the title screen, it wasn't any of this.
True, but then again, the whole audience laughed, and then Ollie went, Team Cap!
Yeah.
But it was a right.
For the win.
Yeah.
But I was Team Cap in the comic book as well. I was Team Cap all
I was. Thing is, I've always been Team Cap. Don't get me wrong, I love Iron Man as a character.
Yeah, really good. But I just don't.
Yeah. It's sort of the fact of, if you like the whole high-powered superhero thing, you go with Iron Man. But if you're for truth and ideals, you go for Captain America.
Just in the American way.
Wrong universe, Ollie.
I mean, why are you here? There must be a reason for you to be here.
Yes, I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
You're gonna end up fighting every elected official in this country.
Sure you don't really mean that, Lois?
I don't believe
Okay, so that said, what I really enjoyed about this film is, even though it wasn't a direct adaptation of Civil War, the comic book, they made sure to stick to as many of the facts as possible.
Yeah.
We got to see the development of characters such as Iron Man, Captain America,
Black Widow
and Scarlet Witch. Literally just developing those characters. I think there's a couple of bits I didn't like, but I'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But just, oh my god, Scarlet Witch in this film.
Really good, really good.
After seeing her in Age of Ultron, I was like, you can tell she's going to have some sort of development, but is it going to be?
I like how they didn't like whine on about like Quicksilver dying as well. I didn't whine on about that. It wasn't really mentioned. Like, it was in there once, twice, but like it wasn't like a main
Wait,
theme.
was it mentioned? Because
I think it was mentioned once. I think that Brother Knife was mentioned in it. Like, feel free to correct me on that.
I literally didn't hear that, and it's sort of like, you'd think that that'd be what drove her as an Avenger, and for her to bring it up.
She just gets on with it, she's like, yeah, I'm getting on with the shit.
I also liked they finally brought back Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
finally.
He was good.
Yeah.
I liked him in it.
What else?
I like how they kind of like gave an excuse for him not being in the other ones as well. Like, oh, I had a heart attack this one time. And,
Literally, they developed so much of a backstory into.
Just like in little lines, just in one line, like, okay, that's where you've been, that's cool.
And that's what was cool. They didn't have to go into a huge backstory of why he hasn't been in there. They built up a backstory from 4 or 5 lines, and then he just started going, oh, this is what you've done in my absence, and showed all the events. And it's sort of like,
one thing I did like about the movie, which they kind of kept from the comic books but changed, is like what kicked off the Civil War to begin with.
Yeah.
Like in the comic books, it was the New Warriors blowing up school.
Yeah.
Kind of not their fault, but still they contributed to it. And that's what kicks out the whole thing. Whereas in this one, you have Scarlet Witch and people being scared of her because she accidentally blows up like half a building or something, kills a few people. Which I think was really good. It like keeps the same underlying themes as the comic book, whereas people are scared of superheroes. It was really well done.
It was literally, this film tried to fit as much in as possible without making it seem too clunky. So the next thing we're going to get on to is something that me and Ollie saw this moment coming about 2 seconds before it happened.
I know what you're talking about.
We looked at each other and we had our
Spoilers
friends.
here, spoilers.
This is a huge spoiler, but by now you should know. Spoiler alert! Anyway, so we had our friend Mark with us, sat right between us, and all of a sudden we leant over him and went, oh my god, Giant Man! Ant-Man finally won. I will say, I love the development to his suit.
Really good,
The helmet is so comic book accurate.
Really damn good.
And then all of a sudden he goes, I've only done this once in a lab, which is actually not a nod to an Avengers comic.
No,
It's a nod to an Ultimates comic, where he first tests the ability to turn into Giant Man while working with Wasp, who in this universe is Hope Van Dyne.
Yes,
Yeah. So that said, it was a little nod to the Ultimates, which is an alternate universe version of the Avengers, and all of a sudden, within a split 2 seconds, he goes from size of an ant to Giant Man.
Giant Man. I love Giant Man.
And
because they didn't force it either. It was
No.
like, oh, let's just do it. Let's be
let's go. What is it? He says, I've only done this once, but it's my trump card. It's the
if
one.
I get torn in half or something, yeah.
Yeah, if I get torn in half, don't come back for me.
Yeah.
And
It was really good.
oh my god, the effect for it was done perfectly.
Yeah, it was really well done.
The CGI, there was no flaws when it happened.
Yeah.
And the fact of, what is it, he's on screen as Giant Man for about 10 minutes.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah.
Literally, it just flows into the sea. Now, I was shocked to not see just an inkling of it in the trailer, because you thought you would have seen something.
Yeah.
But then again, what I also like that they cleverly done, when they brought a certain web slinger into it, in the trailer, they didn't show him in the 6-on-6 lineup. They did it 6-on-5.
But they didn't show the lineup when there was one in it, was he?
No.
That was
but then when you see it in the film, he's actually in that same lineup, and you're like,
oh, okay.
Now I can see where you've refilmed.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
But I can honestly say the best superhero scene of all time, which so far every review I've seen has said, the airport scene.
The airport was really good.
All right, I've run out of patience. On to roost!
Hey everyone.
That fight scene was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Like, I wasn't looking forward to it as much as I was before the movie. Like, because of the comic books mostly, because in the comic books you've got like 50 superheroes on each side, all battling it out, or it's a massive free-for-all. Whereas in this, there's like 6 on each side. It's like, oh, okay, we've got a few people here, cool. But yeah, it was really well done. Like, everyone had a part to play.
Even down to the point of when you see Hawkeye and Black Widow fighting, and even Scarlet Witch says, "You're pulling your punches."
Yes, that was good.
So you could tell that some of them didn't want to fight each other, while others knew it was the only way of making things happen. I love that both Cap and Iron Man have their sidekicks.
Yes, that
You've got Cap has Falcon, Iron Man has War Machine.
Cap has two. Cap has a soldier as well.
True, but if you think about but if you think about it, Winter Soldier is sort of still...
Yeah, he's still standalone. He's kind of like, oh, we can't trust him yet, but we'll let him. We'll let him fight us, it's fine.
But as for seeing Falcon versus War Machine, it was so interesting to see how they developed that, because it was sort of like the whole, oh, I'm the sidekick that sort of drives this. And I will admit, the way they did the whole Rhodey falling from the sky scene,
that was good.
I wasn't expecting that. I knew we saw in the trailer Rhodey laying there in Iron Man's arms.
You saw him get shot at the sky as well. In the trailer.
But I wasn't expecting it like that though. And Vision, who is very torn between his love for Scarlet Witch, which
because you saw that relationship develop a little bit, like, when they were in the Avengers Mansion and stuff like that. It was really cool.
And his ideals of sticking with Iron Man, because obviously,
that's his dad.
So you've got sort of that tearing between the two, and after Scarlet Witch sort of controls the mind gem, which that was what we finally needed, because he says throughout the beginning of the film, oh, I need to gain control over the mind gem. One day I'll be able to control it and use it for my own power. All of a sudden Scarlet Witch just closes her hand, controls the gem, then straight down into the ground about 200 feet
that
down.
Was really good too. I like Hawkeye as well. I like Hawkeye in this film. He didn't have a lot to do.
No, I will admit it was very interesting, the whole backstory of Hawkeye not being in the Avengers.
I'm retired now.
And then he's like, I'm not retired anymore. All within about 5-10 minutes. For a 2.5 hour long film, which I was worried about, because that's the same length again as Batman vs Superman, and that film dragged on. This didn't. You had something that was entertaining you all the time, and if you can't find something to like in this film,
I know what's wrong with you.
you could not be a superhero fan. still something to enjoy. This is a family film, easily.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there's some adult themes.
Yeah,
you
mostly
could
like
argue.
Winter Soldier program and something like that.
Yeah.
And the stuff that goes on there. But apart from that, it's really
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's anything that's gonna scare kids. I wouldn't say there's any reason to not take someone. I'd say as long as they're about 10 or up.
Yeah, 10 upwards.
Yeah. I wouldn't say there's any reason not to take.
Other than that, they wouldn't really understand the themes about it. Like,
Yeah.
With the whole superhero registration act, all the Sokovia Accords, they wouldn't understand what's going on there. But yeah, it was really.
But now let's get on to the thing that everyone's waiting for us to talk about, and I'll let you start with this.
Spidey.
Yeah.
Spidey. I love Spidey. He was so good. They introduced him really well.
Yeah.
Everything about it was done really well. Like in the comics as well, you have him looking up to Iron Man as a mentor figure. And when Iron Man goes to find him, you're like, what's going on here? Because Iron Man obviously knows that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because he's just smart like that.
Literally, Iron Man's the only person in the MCU who knows who Spider-Man is. And while we're on the subject of Spider-Man, I'd just like to say, how comes Aunt May keeps getting younger and hotter?
That is true. That does keep happening.
Don't care.
She started off super old and crippled and all that kind of stuff.
And now she looks just over 40.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes! No, but the way they introduced him, especially that thing where it keeps changing locations throughout the film.
Yeah.
The amount of locations in this film, wow.
Many locations.
Many locations. But when it says Queens, me and Ollie and Mark all looked at each other and we were like, there is only two possibilities. There's two possibilities. Seeing Spidey tied into this, it flowed so well again.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah. It didn't like interrupt it or anything. It was really good.
Yeah. I also like the fact that I think I can honestly say he's the definitive Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's the best one, without a doubt. All the other ones you could like, with Toby and Andrew Garfield and stuff like that, you could always like see something wrong with it.
Yeah.
You always like, that really annoys me about the character. But there wasn't anything that annoyed me about the character at all. Like, it was exactly what I wanted, like the younger Spider-Man to be.
I think literally my only complaint would be he looks just a bit too young for Spider-Man. Like, I understand that's what they've gone for, so they can get more films out of him. But at the same time, what is it? He's 19 years old.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Tom Holland is an amazing actor. He's really talented and he knows what he's doing. But just seeing him play,
it's all baby-faced.
Yeah, such a baby-faced Peter Parker. Don't get me wrong, once he was in the suit, he literally seemed like
he kicked ass.
Yeah, he was the Peter Parker / Spider-Man we all wanted. And I also like that for the first time ever, they made it that Tony Stark gave him the suit.
Yes.
Which was quite interesting, especially when he goes, really, you're swinging around in this onesie?
Yeah. They had that. They had a little hint of the spider sense as well, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Falcon was going behind him at one point, or Winter Soldier, and he was like, "What's that?"
Oh yeah.
That was really
and then what was it when Tony is about to hit the ceiling? He senses it before it happens and literally pushes it straight into the wardrobe.
It was really cool.
But you've also got the banter between Spider-Man and the other Avengers.
Yeah.
Automatically you can tell he's going to be brought into the Avengers Initiative, and that final scene at the end of the credit, he finally gets
the Spider Emblem.
The Spider Emblem, which I've got a feeling that that's going to be tied into the logo somehow when we get Spider-Man Homecoming. Homecoming should be very good. I really hope that he does well in the MCU. He's done well in his first appearance. It's just the point.
I want to see more of him. I want to see more of the same. I want to see more of him doing what he does best, quipping like that, making him be a complete badass.
Yeah.
It showed his strength really well. Like, we held to hold off the Winter Soldier punch like it was nothing.
And I think the fact that when he back to the emblem, I've got a feeling that will also be something that J. Jonah uses against him.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But that's going to be interesting.
Maybe get J.K. Simmons back.
It won't happen because remember.
I hope they do.
I hope they do, but
I can live in hope. Okay.
Literally, the only reason I don't think it will happen is now that J.K. Simmons has signed his contract with DC to play Commissioner Gordon. I've got a very strong feeling against it.
You can do both, that's fine with me.
Oh yeah, I want J.K. Simmons back. He is the definitive J. Jonah Jameson. Even to the point, in the TV show, he's done several voices for him.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Public menace.
he's too perfect.
Yeah.
But no, Spider-Man was brought in perfectly.
Played the part perfectly.
Yeah, the whole universe is there for the taking.
Yeah.
We have got it set up so subtly, and what I really like, as long as it's not done in Homecoming, we didn't get an origin story.
Yes.
Yes!
No more origin stories, please.
No more origin!
No more. We've had 2 already, that was too many already. 1 was enough.
Technically 3, if you think about it. If you think about the 70s TV show,
I don't think about that, so that's the problem.
True. But if you think about it, there's been 3 origin stories. This time we don't need one. Just think,
everyone knows who Spider-Man is.
We've had 6 Batman origins. We don't need a
we don't need any.
4th Spider-Man origin.
Yeah.
Can we please talk about the Tony Stark flashback scene?
Yes.
How well was that done?
That was done really well. Like at the start of the film, where he's talking to a bunch of MIT graduates, a bunch of MIT students, and saying, "This is my technology that I've made to go and new memories and relive them." So
I wish that this was the case.
Yeah.
And just you saw him when he was young, so they got to use footage from something like.
So I think it's just really good CGI. Like getting a mid and shave, and they're just like.
CGI. But I have got a feeling they used some of the stuff from when he was younger in films I think it's High School. Yeah. So films like that they've used to sort of base it on. But you see him as a young actor, and he says, "I wish this is the way it happened." And then all of a sudden you see
last time he saw his parents. That played into a lot of his motivations for the final scene as well.
I'm gonna let Ollie talk about that one. Tying that.
Yeah, it ties the Winter Soldier to Iron Man. It makes him hate him more than anything else, really. Like, and in a way, Captain America, because Captain America kind of knew about it. He didn't know, but he thought he knew the reveal before it was real.
Yeah.
And the reveal is that the Winter Soldier killed Iron Man's parents, killed Maria Stark, and then. At the end of the film, Iron Man is shown some footage that shows the Winter Soldier killing his parents on a mission that he's been given, which really Captain America kind of knew. He knew from the events of the Winter Soldier, where he saw what's his face? What's his name?
Oh, Zemo.
Zemo, not Zemo. No, the other one. Not Baron Zemo. The computer guy, Zola. Arnim Zola.
Oh yeah.
The other Z. Telling him that Hydra's caused all these people to die. He's got no accidents happen, all that kind of stuff. So it was played off an accident before they died in a car accident. Where it's shown instead that Winter Soldier was the one that killed them on a Hydra mission, and Captain America knew about this. Well, he wasn't entirely sure, but he pretty much knew that Winter Soldier had done this. And this, because before that, Iron Man had completely got onto Captain America's side. He's like, okay, I'm going to help you, like, find out, like, with proof that Winter Soldier's innocent of the crimes he's been accused of in the events of Civil War. That's fine. And then he showed that footage and completely flips. He just doesn't give a crap anymore. He then hates Captain America then because he's lied to him about it this whole time. For the last, like, what, 2 or 3 years is it since the events of Winter Soldier?
In the MCU continuity, it'd be about 2-3 years.
So he's lied to him, well, they've been best mates for like 2 years, and he's like protected the Winter Soldier this whole time, having known that already, not told Iron Man. So that causes the end conflict between Captain America and Iron Man, and the Winter Soldier to some extent, where they're all ganging up on each other, they're all fighting, the big fight scene, which was really well done. Like, one thing I would like to say about this film is the hand-to-hand combat scenes are absolutely amazing. They're really well choreographed, really well done, really well shot. I think
they literally did not hold back from any of them.
Really well done.
The fight scene for the airport, the fight scene between Cap, Iron Man, and Winter Soldier. And can I just say, so far, everyone that I've spoke to has said the amount of people that thought that Cap was going to behead Tony.
Yeah, I thought that was going to happen right at the end.
Literally, at one point,
Cap's busted Tony's helmet off.
No, wasn't it Bucky that ripped the helmet? Yeah, Bucky ripped the helmet off. And then all of a sudden, as they finally get to the last part of the fight, and Cap's just smashing his shield on him, all of a sudden he brings the shield up and smashes it down, and
it cuts away.
Yeah, it cuts away for a split second, and the way he brings it down after he's been hitting him, you think, oh shit, he's just decapitated Tony, and then you see he busts it straight into the arc reactor, which, if you haven't watched Iron Man 3, you know actually isn't in Tony's chest anymore.
Yeah, it's just the armor.
Yeah, it's just in the armor. Which I thought was quite a brave move on their part. There's not much to say in bad terms for this film. Marvel, you've outdone yourself. I'd easily say that if they keep going the way they're going, the Phase 3 and possibly Phase 4 could be some of the best superhero films that we will ever get in our lifetime.
Yeah. Really, really good. I'm happy to be alive at this point in time.
Oh yeah, definitely. That said, is there any other positive elements that you really want to get onto?
Black Panther, I'd like to talk about. The introduction of
T'Challa.
Yeah, really good, really well done. I liked at the start. Do you want to say how they brought Black Panther into it?
Okay, so again, they stuck pretty much to the comic book origin of T'Chaka and T'Challa. The only difference is, obviously, wasn't it in the comics, T'Chaka was killed by another tribe leader, and then T'Challa took...
Or something
White Gorilla. That said, T'Challa in this film took over for T'Chaka after an explosion which was set by Hermit Zemo, who was disguised as a Winter Soldier, which, in my opinion, is a little nod and a wink to Madame Mask. So I've got a very strong feeling that could happen. But yeah, so he's disguised. All of a sudden, we get to see T'Challa promises Black Widow, you don't have to find him, I'm going to be the one that kills him. All of a sudden, about 5 minutes later, we just see Black Panther jumping on a rooftop the Cap's trying to reach Bucky on. All of a sudden, that's it. We see Black Panther, and wow.
Just vibranium suit, everything like that.
Yeah, and again, that was actually nodded to straight away because obviously Cap's shield is made of vibranium, so he says, your suit, it's made from vibranium. And T'Challa's hearing none of it. He just wants to kill the Winter Soldier.
He wasn't dead. He's out for blood.
And can we just talk about the claws?
They were good.
Oh,
really well.
It wasn't overdone. And what I like is they were retractable, which, again, a nod to the comics. Okay, so...
Bad point.
Yeah. You go for the first bad point.
The bad point, the only really bad point for me that actually bothered me at any point in the film was Zemo.
Oh, we got onto this as we left the cinema.
In some ways, they didn't need him in the film, and in some ways it did, and in some ways it needed more of him, and I would have liked to see it more with the proper Zemo, like the Zemo from the comic books. Because in the film, there's Helmut Zemo, who was a Sokovian citizen in the Sokovian army. He was angry at the Avengers for everything they'd done there, for destroying his town,
for killing his wife and child.
Doing all that bad shit. And then he decides to try and take out on everyone by being a general badass. Not badass, he's a bit of a dick. He's been a bit of a dick through the entire film, pretty much. And in that, you do get a lot of backstory about the Winter Soldier through him as well. Which I found quite good, but I'd like to see either more of him or less of him. It seemed like a bit of a bad middle ground for me. It didn't develop him very much, but it was good.
Like with Ollie,
even the bad things are good for me.
I think with Zemo, I would have liked it to be comic book accurate because, as most of you will know, if you know the whole Captain America story, Baron Zemo in the comic books was also another costume supervillain.
Hydra.
Because what is it? Isn't it? He creates a special
Adhesive X,
and Cap ends up throwing his shield at it. It spills over him, and his suit ends up bonding to him. is one of the head generals of Hydra, and ends up, even when he dies,
his son
takes over, which, wouldn't it be Helmut Zemo, or the Zemo we had in this film be the son?
Yes, it will. Yeah.
So
Might still end up being, to be honest.
We never know. It could be that Sokovia had its own connection to Hydra. I also didn't like how.
Well, I guess it did in the end, didn't it? They had a Hydra. They had a Hydra takeoff there.
Exactly. Plus, I'm sorry, I love the little nod to Mordok in the film. Basically, what happens is when they finally hunt down Zemo, he's behind a screen, and you just see his face in a wall, and you think, oh, Mordok.
Could be that.
Yeah, but. There's not much else
no confirmation on that.
One thing I will say with a dislike, Ollie didn't actually notice this, but I did, being a film student. Basically, right at the beginning of the airport scene, as Tony lands, we see as he removes the mask, you can see the green screen behind him. Now, I understand what it's like to deal with green screen and rendering footage, so it's probably something that'll be fixed in the DVD release, but it was so minimal. It was for a split minute and a half. But other than that, I couldn't find much else I didn't like. Like I said, I thought the fact that Peter Parker was very, very baby-faced was unfortunate.
But even then, that's a matter of like preference. What actually bad thing about the film? Like I liked it a lot. I think that young. I think it plays the comic book quite well as well, because in a lot of the comic book adaptations, he is very young.
Yeah.
Especially when he's starting. He's only been Spider-Man for 6 months in this film.
Yeah.
He just started out. He's still in high school, which is plays in as well. He's supposed to be still in high school. He looks about the right age for someone in high school as well. So I like that. I think it was right. I think they often try to make superheroes look older than they should be, like to make them look like they should be able to handle themselves and fight, which I to do with Spider-Man, because he looks young, but he's still a pretty formidable opponent.
Yeah. I think it's a shame, obviously, the Black Widow didn't get enough time on screen. That's something else I didn't like, but at the same time, I think this is literally derived on Captain America and Iron Man and the Winter Soldier.
They are the two main figureheads of this.
Those three characters are sort of what this film's about. So obviously some characters are going to get more time on screen than others. We got enough Black Panther, we didn't need very much more. Whoa. First time yawning on screen, win for me. But honestly, I couldn't find that much to complain about.
Yeah, the thing I wasn't massively keen on was Vision. Like I'd like to see like more of him, or doing like more Vision-y things. Like like you didn't really like his like, emotions, did you? That he showed.
See, I find it odd that they gave him a full-on sentient relationship with Scarlet Witch. Obviously, there could be something that Marvel aren't revealing to us. It was kind of weird.
It was a bit weird, but in the same sense, like the Mind Gem, you don't know what it does yet.
True.
It's different from the
Marvel are starting to reveal more about it. Like Scarlet Witch seems to have control over it.
Yeah, in some way or another.
Yeah, in some way or another.
Vision in some way, but we don't know that.
Yeah, Vision's still trying to develop his control of it.
Yeah.
Compared to what he's had since he got it in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
That said, there's not much else, like I said, that can be negatively said. No.
Like some could say it was too long, but in the same way, when I was watching it, it didn't feel that long. It didn't feel as long as it was to me because you were.
I only ended up checking my phone to check the time once, and that was because Mark went to me, "What time is it?" And 2 hours had gone.
Yeah.
And I was like,
really? 2 hours?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you feel like it's that long. If you're enjoying it as much as we did, it's like it goes really quickly.
Well, I know that the original cut of Civil War was just over 3 hours.
Yeah. That's good then, because they've shown that they've not cut much out of it really, and that they've like stood true to what they wanted in the film.
which I'm quite pleased about. Obviously, like I said, I've got a feeling the deleted scenes will show the people who will be involved in the Defenders. So Luke Cage, Jess, and Daredevil. Yeah. Obviously, we haven't got
our Iron Fist yet.
Yeah. Though we've seen pictures of them around, so that's very interesting.
Looking forward to that. Well,
yeah. But that said, I think it might be time to pick our scores. Yeah. So Ollie, out of 10. You're going straight for the 10.
I fucking loved it. I loved everything about it.
Honestly, I've got to agree with Ollie.
10.
I've got to go for a 10.
10.
This is the first time Seymour Films has given a full 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm sure Harry won't agree with us, but still.
Well, what was it? You gave...
I gave Deadpool a 10.
Deadpool a 10. I gave it a 9.5. So literally, this is the first time we've hit the 10.
We've agreed.
Yeah.
Good job.
Hey. But honestly, Civil War, I can honestly say, might be the best superhero film that's ever been released.
Certainly in a long time,
Yeah, so that said, time for our shout out segment. Ollie, I'm going to let you go first.
I'd like to go to a big shout out to Tom Scar Ridgewell. Really enjoying your videos at the moment. Keep it up, thank you very much.
And for me, I went to an emo night with Sam, who you obviously know is part of Seymour Films as well, and got the opportunity to meet one of my favourite YouTubers, Patty Waters, lead singer of As It Is, and I'll put a picture on the screen that I got with him now. And so I'd like to do a shout out to his YouTube channel as well as It Is, since that's his band.
Links are in the description.
Yeah, links are in the description as usual. But other than that, it's time to fully round off.
Alright guys, that's all we got for this episode.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go down below, comment, give us your opinion.
Like it if you enjoyed it.
And make sure to subscribe and share for more. Anyway guys, my name's Tommy Monkhouse.
I'm Ollie Butler.
This has been Seymour Films, and we're out.